insurance, which you cover. As
Yeah.
a younger official, can you talk about the importance of
Yeah.
investing in that now, and what it looks like, you know, later on, and how it, talk about that plan you have, that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Kevin. So that's the number one thing I've been doing with referees over the last, quarter century or whatever it is now, is disability income planning. And it's interesting because we don't ever see ourselves getting disabled. It's one of those blessings in life. We don't live in fear going, oh, I'm doomed, right? We all think it's not going to happen to us. But the reality is we just don't know. And even if we would all have to agree, although the probability of becoming disabled is not a significant one, it's greater than 0.000. And when we think about everything in the offensive plan, the way we live, the way we give, the way we save, the way we invest, the way we dream about the future, the way we tackle debt, the way we give, it's all tied to our ability to earn an income. It's the foundational wellspring of our entire financial being. And it's something we should never, ever risk. If you think about it, there's times and places to take calculated risks, but as long as you have an income, you can bounce back from the failures. But the minute you no longer have an income coming in, you have no ability to bounce back, right? So it's that key element, Kevin, I think, to protect our ability to earn an income no matter what. And thankfully, so I'm self-employed. I don't work for a company, but I have a massive appreciation and sense of gratitude for Northwestern Mutual. They've paid over 50 disability claims to referees. They've declined 0 claims. So literally every time we've come to Northwestern Mutual with a referee that's become unable to do their work, and I'll explain how the policy works, but they stood behind their promise and they've paid out. It's been an incredible blessing and amazing to watch. But if you think about it, it doesn't really matter from a financial planning perspective if you're a referee, if you're a welder, if you're a surgeon, if you're a teacher, and a lot of you may have a couple jobs right now. You may be referee and a teacher. We see that a lot. And it's whatever it is you do to generate income, you want to make sure it doesn't ever stop. And so the policy that we have in place for these referees that's written by Northwestern Mutual says, if you become unable to perform the duties that you're engaged in professionally, it doesn't matter if it happens in season or out of season, on the court, off the court, during the school year, on the summer, if it's physical, mental, cognitive, emotional, whatever the cause, if you become unable to do whatever you were doing at that time to generate the income you do, once 90 days passes after you're in that situation and you're still unable to do what you were doing, you get a check tax-free every month until you turn 70 years old or until you can get back to doing what you were doing on a full-time basis, whichever comes first. And it typically doesn't cost more than 1 to 3% of your total income to have the coverage. And it's just good business. And again, Kevin, I don't believe this is really a referee topic. It's just referees become disabled it's far more prevalent than a teacher. But the reality is, even if 90% of your income right now is from teaching and you're hoping that becomes 10% teaching, 90% refereeing in 5 years, to Kevin's point, get it now. Because you just don't wait until you think you're going to get disabled, or wait until you think you can afford it, or wait until you think now I'm at a higher risk. Whatever you're doing, here's the benefit too. If right now over 80% of your income is coming from an occupation outside of officiating, your premium is going to be, the cost you have to pay for the policy is going to be way lower because you're in a lower risk class, right? A teacher doesn't pay the same premium as a referee, but the contract allows you to keep the same policy at the same price as you transition into full-time officiating. So now let's say, 10 years from now, you're making $200,000 as an official and not even doing any other career. You're still paying the same rate as the teacher, right? So there's a lot of reasons why you want to protect your ability to earn an income. That's the defense. There's only 2 threats to your ability to earn an income. You can die or become disabled. That's it, die or become disabled. And neither of them statistically are likely to happen anytime soon, which makes the insurance so affordable. So I'd highly encourage you, get the defense in place. Yes, if it costs 3 to 4% of your income to have the defense, that means now you've only got 96 to 97% of your career earning at work to live and give and save. But the reality is, if we felt like we needed the last 3 to 4%, we were carrying way too much stress along the way, living too close to the line. And there's a sense of richness and confidence that comes from that when you know you're playing good defense and your offense is never going to be unfunded.